I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
You said I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
Man, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go ahead.
You dreaming, man. You talking in your dreams, man.
Fight.
What about the Terence Crawford fight? I'm tired of answering questions about it. He already said millions of times that he not fighting me or looking my way, so I'm just tired of answering those questions, you know. And if a fight happened, it happened. You know, I wanted it to happen, but if not, yeah.
And there's like right now, you got Boots Ennis in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
You know, the eye test tells it all. You know, he's got the it, you know, but we haven't seen him against any elite fighter. We've never seen him tested. So until then, you know, we just going to keep saying, oh, Boots, until he meet that.
Jaron, Boots, Ennis, and Terence Bud Crawford went head-to-head in a live interview packed with intensity. Boots wasted no time, boldly declaring he's ready to fight at 154 right now. But Crawford quickly shut it down, making it clear he's only focused on mega fights at this point in his career.
Going back down to 154 and face Jaron Ennis, the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight.
Nope. I ain't going down 154.
Bud then poured fuel on the fire, saying Boots hasn't faced anyone that proves he's on his level. That statement instantly sent fans into a frenzy. This wasn't just talk anymore. It felt like a line had been drawn. And from that moment on, the tension between them felt more real than ever.
Easy, you could for me.
You jumped up out of my sanction body to go fight in the IBF. So what I know? If it don't matter, catch up.
Yo, he picked Evan.
Catch up.
Evan was a way under.
You just said it don't matter. Catch up. I'm talking about before that.
He not about it. We already know he not about what he's talking about.
I'm not about what? I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
You said I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
Man, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go ahead.
You dreaming, man. You talking in your dreams, man.
Fight.
Crawford made it clear he's not interested in tune-ups. He's done waiting in the wings. This face-off left everyone thinking the same thing. If these two ever sign the dotted line, it's going to be fireworks. And just when things were cooling down, Boots' father, Bozy Ennis, jumped into the mix, coming like a dad storming a PDA meeting, ready to check the principal. His entrance turned the whole conversation into a family showdown.
Man, listen closely. Make that fight. You know, we want that fight. You know what I mean? I said, you know, we wanted him or either Spence. It didn't make no difference as long as we get the fight. We see where we coming from. Right now, we ain't worrying about Crawford. We're going to clean 147 now, then we're going to move to 154. If he there and he got a belt, we coming after him.
Man, he wasn't holding back. He basically said, listen, we never duck Crawford. The only thing I ever turn down is my thermostat when the bill's too high. That's pure old-school boxing dad energy right there. And the way he clapped back at the narrative, if Crawford really wanted Boots, he could have called directly instead of going through more middlemen than a pyramid scheme. That response had everyone laughing, but also questioning who's really avoiding who.
And we're going to discuss what we're going to do with, with Terence and Boots. That's what, I said, yeah, well, if you want to fight, just let me know. That's just what Steven said, right? And they said, well, we'll call you later on. Never called him back. That's what happened. So they trying to say that we never turned the fight. I talked to Terence last night. We never turned the fight down. We've been wanting a fight.
And the funniest part? Bozy basically told Crawford, you fought David Avanesian when you could have fought us. Translation, you skipped the steak dinner and went for the happy meal. Savage, but straight facts. As fans, we just want to see these lions in the ring, not stuck in negotiation bingo. And let's be real, if this fight ever goes down, grab your popcorn, because it's not lasting 12 dull rounds. One clean exchange could decide everything.
Fight Avanesian, and then I said, Avanesian, you could have fought us. And then Terence said, well, Boots could have been number one. All you had to do was call us. We would have took that fight. You didn't have to fight Avanesian? Avanesian? Whatever.
Avanesian ranked in the WBO?
Way behind us. You know what I mean? So if you really wanted to fight us, you could have fought us.
All right. So after Bozy dropped the hammer and reminded everyone that Crawford could have called Boots instead of dialing up Avanesian, here comes Roy Jones Jr. sliding in with that classic wisdom. And I gotta say, when Roy talks boxing, you listen. This man isn't just a Hall of Famer. He's the cheat code. His words hit different because he's lived every side of the fight game.
So it's Terence Crawford. What does that look like?
I don't know yet, cause we haven't seen Boots in against a guy that has touched him good enough to really test his chin. So we don't. That's the only thing we don't know about him yet. We don't know if he can take the real punch yet because we haven't seen it. But as far as the skill goes, he got everything. And that fight could be a very difficult fight because
Roy basically said Boots has all the tools, but we still don't know if that chin's been truly tested. And that's real talk. You can have all the speed and footwork in the world, but until you get cracked by a sniper like Bud, nobody knows if you're steel or glass. That's the kind of truth only a legend like Roy can drop without sugarcoating it.
skill level that Boots has, anything can happen, but don't get it wrong, Bud has that skill level too. So
the way Roy put it, this fight isn't just intriguing. It's a chess match where one wrong move could turn into checkmate fast. And you know it's serious when Roy, the human highlight reel himself, says both guys are operating at that elite level. Now, let's keep it real. This is why fans like us are losing our minds over a potential Crawford versus Boots showdown. It's not just about who's slicker, faster, or stronger. It's about seeing if the young lion can survive when the king finally tests his bite. Because in this kind of fight, one mistake could rewrite legacies.
Jaron Ennis didn't force his team to make this fight and say, listen, Steven, I'm signed to you and Showtime. I'm not signed to the PBC and Al Heyman. You need to do what's best for my career and make this fight happen. And he didn't do that. And the rest is history. Terence
Boots has looked untouchable so far, but Bud is like the final boss in a video game. You don't just beat him with talent. You need timing, patience, and a whole lot of heart. If this fight ever happens, it won't just answer, is Boots for real? It'll show whether Crawford adds another jewel to his legacy or if the torch finally gets passed. Either way, we all win because this is the kind of fight that makes boxing feel alive. And trust me, moments like this are why fans stay glued to the sport.
Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, crossover fights because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's...
All right, so we just heard Roy Jones Jr. basically knight Boots as the full package, with one big question mark on that chin test. And now Timothy Bradley jumps in like, hold up, don't get carried away. Crawford still has mountains left to climb. I love it because Bradley lays it out raw. Bud might be great, but greatness isn't handed out. It's tested against killers like David Benavidez Jr. and that puzzle master, Dimitri Bivol. And that perspective makes you realize just how high the stakes really are.
Benavidez come back down to 168, man. That's another crazy matchup for Terence Crawford. Because, again, look, with the skill set of Crawford and everything else he brings, right? These guys have skills too, and they bigger than he is. See, and that's difficult.
And you've got to admit, Bradley's got a point. Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez was like pulling Excalibur from a stone. But if he goes chasing giants at 168 and above, now we're talking mythological level danger. This isn't just can Bud win. It's can Bud fight guys who look like they were built in a boxing lab and still outthink them? That's the kind of drama we, the fans, live for. Now, Bradley might sound like he's tossing ice water on Crawford's parade, but he's really giving us the hype we need. When a former champ warns Crawford could actually lose if he plays with fire against those monsters, you know this is about real risk. A fight that could define a legacy. And that's exactly why fans can't stop talking about it.
I mean, look, if Crawford can go down and face that dude, bro, man, whoo, Crawford's legacy, everybody will be tuning in just to see Terence Crawford's greatness because he's a mega star now. So it don't matter who Terence fight. Everybody gonna be tuning in to see the greatness of...
I like Bradley's jab at Floyd too, telling him to chill out and enjoy the ride. That's the most subtle sit-down, champ comment I've ever heard. Bottom line, Crawford's in that rare spot where win, lose, or draw, the boxing world will show up just to see if he can solve puzzles nobody else wants to touch. And honestly, isn't that what makes boxing beautiful? It's not the easy fights. It's when you step in with a guy everyone warned you not to fight, and you either become a legend or get humbled on the biggest stage. That's why we just can't look away. And moments like these are exactly why fans keep coming back for more.
Yeah, on this channel, you know, if you stay tuned on this channel, y'all know that Big Ball was a miracle fight. Yeah, he's a miracle fight. It might Terence Crawford may need a miracle beating that dude right there. Styles make fights. I tell you folks all the time, Styles makes fights. That's what it is. And B-Ball got the style to give Terence Crawford fits. He got the size to give him fits. He got the footwork to give him fits. He got the jab.
All right. So right after Bradley cooled the room with his reality check against Benavidez and Bivol, here comes Coach Calvin Ford dropping bombs like it's fight night all over again. And this man didn't even flinch. He straight up said Crawford could have stopped Canelo, but chose to be humble about it. Imagine that. The pound-for-pound king sparing Canelo like it's a pickup game, saying, "All right, champ, I'll let you walk out with your pride intact." That's not just boxing IQ. That's boxing charity. And Calvin called it perfectly. You could see Canelo stuck in a matrix, throwing everything but the kitchen sink, while Crawford read it like last night's Twitter feed. That insight makes you appreciate just how sharp Bud really is.
Crazy because I predicted. I said Canelo was going to get old in the ring that night. No disrespect to Crawford. He did a good. Crawford could have stopped him. He could have. You know, me being a coach and watching how the fight was going on, he could have stopped him. And I know he's saying that in his mind, but he was being humble of Canelo. He was being humble, and it was a great fight, and it was good talk.
And the way Calvin crowned him, bruh, he didn't hesitate. He said, Bud is this generation's guy, the one carrying the torch after Floyd. Then he dropped the wildest what if of all time, Floyd versus Crawford, even as an exhibition. Don't lie, we'd all pay way too much to see that. Forget Logan Paul exhibitions. Give us Bud and Floyd in a chess match with gloves. And here's the kicker. Calvin made it sound like Crawford didn't just win, he leveled up into boxing's final boss. That's why we love these breakdowns. Sometimes the real flex isn't just winning the fight. It's showing you could have ended it at any second, but chose to put on a masterclass instead. That's savage on another level, and it leaves fans speechless.
From Floyd's generation to this generation to get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on. So.
Or seeing all these crazy exhibitions, maybe we see Floyd and Terence in an exhibition. That'd be something crazy as well.
Just to have two great guys that completed a lot of things in their life of boxing and come together and just give the fans something to talk.
And there you have it, folks, from Boots calling out Bud, to Bozy clapping back, to Roy and Bradley dropping perspective bombs, and Calvin Ford saying Crawford basically let Canelo borrow mercy. This has been one wild ride of boxing talk. What makes it so electric is that every voice adds fuel to the fire, leaving us with a real question. Is Crawford untouchable, or is Boots built to finally crack the code? That's the debate that keeps boxing alive, legacy, pride, and the next big torch-passing moment. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who really has the edge, Bud or Boots? And can we ever see Crawford risk it all against the giants Bradley mentioned? Let's get this debate cooking. And yo, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Hub, your ringside seat to the madness. This is the kind of talk that keeps the sport buzzing long after the gloves come off.